A broken Audi? Can you even imagine such a thing could happen? Well, it has today. Let's get started. This is a 2000 Audi S4. It's not just your everyday A4. This one's an S4. It's got a lot of really neat features to it. It came in with 3 complaints, 3 problems, and the customer wants to know what's going on with it. I'm going to show you some of the things that I did today to figure out what was wrong, how I got to the bottom of it, and what it's going to take to fix it. These S4s are not known to be the most ultra-reliable vehicles in the world, especially with the engine they have, which is a 2.7 bi-turbo or twin turbo. Let's take a look under the hood real quick, just to get a quick look of the engine. This is our beautiful Audi V6 bi-turbo. Working on cars can be very frustrating at times, and some cars just seem to never want to stay fixed. It's like I can't get a brake with a simple alternator job or serpentine belt job anymore. Do you ever feel like there's something keeping you from being happy, or something preventing you from reaching your goals? Today's video is sponsored by Betterhelp. You know, the largest online therapy service that has helped over 4 million people since 2013 start living a healthier, happier life. With the new year, it is the perfect time to work on you and your happiness. To get started, all you have to do is fill out a simple questionnaire that will help them know about your specific needs. In most cases, Betterhelp will match you with a therapist in 48 hours or less. You can then schedule your sessions on your phone, tablet, or computer at times that are convenient for you. Now, if you find the therapist you've been matched with isn't the right fit, which can happen when the first starting therapy, no worries, Betterhelp has over 30,000 therapists in their network, and you can switch without additional cost or crazy paperwork. I bet you guys spend hours working on cars or dreaming about that perfect ride, so why not give your mind the same kind of attention? If you think you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. Click the link in the description below or visit betterhelp.com/carwizard. This link gives you 10% discount on your first month of therapy with a licensed professional specific to your needs. I'd like to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Now, back to this Audi. So why is it here? Why is this S4 in the shop? Number one, the customer states there's a misfire or multiple misfires happening, specifically when the engine is fully warmed up. Number two, it's having trouble warming up. It takes a long time. Sometimes it doesn't warm up on a cooler day. And number three, the customer just put in brand new seats, well, new to him, front passenger and driver seats, and ever since that was done, there's an airbag light on. He'd like to know why. Why did that happen? So the first thing we're going to tackle is under the hood here. We use the scan tool to do a scan of the codes, and let me go ahead and show you guys what we found. So I'm scanning through the codes. It has cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4, and also random multiple misfire detected. Also it has cooling system performance code and O2 sensors slow response, which is probably from the misfires. Set this aside here. I typed in some of those codes, and while I was typing, it came to mind, I probably know what's going on with this car. It's probably the coils, the plugs and coils. This thing has like 190,000 miles on it. It has the original coils, amazingly. But there's been so many Bentleys and so many Volkswagens and Audis that have coils and coils and coils. And I kind of already knew that, but when I typed in the codes, even I was shocked about how bad of a problem this is. Let me show you the papers. So I typed in those codes, which you see here, P0303, P0302, which is what we had on the scan tool. Replace ignition coils, 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 coils. More coils. A whole page of coils. Another page of coils. Oh, another page of coils. I've always known Audis are not known for good ignition coils. Porsches, Audis, Volkswagens, Bentleys. Seems like they always have coils failing. But this was really a surprise to me. This is an entire stack of about 40 pages, and they all say, replace ignition coils, solve the problem, I just went over that with you, I already showed you. But I didn't let it print the whole list. The list was 400 pages long. When it got to 40 pages, I clicked stop on my computer. I figured you guys watching probably don't need to see all 400 sheets, but it's terrible. Well, based on that data and based on the experience I have, there's a 99.9% chance these coils are shot. And the fact that he mentions it runs okay when it's cold, but only when it warms up, that's always been coils in the past. Because the internal windings inside the coils, they actually get warmed up and then the circuit breaks open, and that coil quits firing. But when it's cold, it runs perfect. It runs very good. So I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this thing needs all 6 coils and all 6 plugs. Now, I've had Bentleys come in where there's 1 or 2 coils bad. Whenever I do this job on any Volkswagen Audi product, I quote all the coils and all the plugs, or none of the coils and none of the plugs. You're going to do all of them or don't do them at all. The reason why, I learned the hard way, I got burned. Years ago, I had a Bentley come in. Customer said, let's just do the 1 or 2 coils. Okay, so I put the 2 on. They were on the passenger side in the rear. 2 weeks later, a customer called, very angry. They said, I thought we had this fixed. Now it's misfiring again. What'd you do to my car? He brought it back in. This time, it wasn't the coils I replaced. It was 2 on the other side, on the forward part of the driver's side that had gone out. And 2 or 3 weeks later, another one failed. That's what I learned. You're going to get all the coils and plugs, because once 1 or 2 fails, the others are right behind it. It's a domino effect. If they last a certain amount of time, they're usually within a few months of each other, maybe sometimes weeks. Why would you only do 1 or 2 and have to keep making trips back and making trips back? The customer's angry, the mechanic's angry. It's best to just do all of them. So we're going to do all 6 plugs, all 6 coils. That will solve this issue with the misfire. And by the way, on a modern car, this is a tune-up. Just the coils, just the plugs. Maybe check over the belts, check things over. You can't change the ignition timing. That's pre-programmed in the computer. It's non-adjustable. So you can't say, well, you need to set the timing. No, that's not going to happen. There's no moving parts in the ignition system that need to be changed. There are none. No distributor, no cap and rotor, nothing like that. I get people call up and want a tune-up, and I quote them, coils and plugs. And they're like, well, isn't there more to it than that? Not in a modern car. That's all there is. Today's plugs, being platinum or iridium plugs, they last 100,000, sometimes 150,000 miles. So you really don't have to worry about them that much. Like the old days where it's every 20 or 30,000 miles, now it's 100 to 150. The second problem is that it won't warm up. And when it does warm up on a warm day, it's just enough to make it start misfiring. But otherwise, it usually stays pretty cool, sometimes cold. And now we're getting into colder weather, that's just not going to fly. So we'll play the game. What do you guys think is wrong? Why wouldn't this thing get warm? Is it number 1, a stuck open thermostat? Or is it number 2, trapped air or a large air bubble in the system? Or is it number 3, a faulty water pump? I'll let you guys in the comments choose what you think it is. Well, just like I just mentioned in the Betterhelp ad I just did, where I was hoping for a simple job, this one actually turned out to be simple. I actually typed in the code to Identifix, which I use heavily. I used Identifix a lot. And the performance, or the cooling system performance code that was listed there, again, there was like 20 pages of thermostat stuck open, thermostat stuck open, thermostat stuck open. And it gave some procedures to test it. It said to go ahead and let the engine idle for a while and let it get it to operating temperature. Within 15-20 minutes, it should be close to getting to operating temperature. If it stays cold, but yet you go out to the engine and there's parts of it that are really hot, that means it could be a trapped air. If it's the water pump, which it's not, it would overheat. If the water pump's not working, it's going to get way hot. So I let it run for quite a while. It never came off the very low portion of the coolant temperature gauge. And I came out to the engine and it was still cool. I mean, obviously it's not ice cold, but it was relatively cool compared to what it should be. That let me know the only thing it can be is the thermostat is stuck wide open. And based on the data I read on Identifix, sure enough, 20 pages of thermostat, thermostat, thermostat. But there is a third issue with this vehicle where the customer removed the seats, put some different or newer seats in, and now it has an airbag light, and they're worried what happened here. So let's go ahead and get into the interior and show you what we found. So one of the things I checked first is I saw some speaker wire and some things sticking out underneath this trim piece here. I actually have them removed. And you can see there's an airbag connector there. And I know from experience also when people install stereo systems with power wires and speaker wires and RCA cables and things, they can inadvertently knock things loose or accidentally cut a wire. And to ensure that that wasn't the problem, I pulled all this out. I checked that connector, it's fine. I checked multiple different connectors and wiring. Everything looks good there. Also visually checked the seatbelt pretensioner, make sure there's no wiring damage there. I never found anything that caused an issue. Let me go ahead and pull up the scan tool and show you how I can read the data while I'm checking things. So I've got my Autel 906 hooked up. We'll go ahead and select airbag. Go ahead and read trouble codes. 1217, side airbag, igniter, driver's side resistance too low. So when you see resistance too low, that means possibly disconnected. It's not too high, like it's seeing connection, but it's too high or short to ground or short to power. It's seeing nothing. That means resistance is too low. Something is not connected. Let me go ahead and pull up the data on this side airbag igniter real quick, and then we'll show you what we found. So here we have on the data, I pulled up the channel, front driver side airbag, too low. Just like the code said, the resistance is too low. So I know the customer said that the seats have been out, and sorry for the beeping. That's kind of an annoying thing, I know, but we're going to be real fast here. Seats have been installed. I know there's connectors under the seat. Let's see what we found underneath the seat. So as you can see, there's this yellow airbag connector. Look at that, guys. It's not even connected. It's just dangling there. No wonder it says resistance is too low. Well, let's plug it in and go back to our scan tool and see what it says. Look at that, guys. Now it doesn't say low. It says correct. It's fixed. So let's go through and clear the codes on the airbag system and see if it's happy. So here we are at the code again. I'll go ahead and click erase codes. Yes. Yes. Clearing codes. Trouble codes are not detected. Let's go ahead and try it one more time. Trouble codes. That's it. Trouble codes are not detected. So that's it. That's all it was, a connector disconnected. So that has now been solved. So what does the seat have to do with airbags? Well, in a lot of modern cars, there is sometimes an airbag in the seat. Sometimes there's sensors in the seat. There's all kinds of equipment or electronics. Most power seats I've ever worked on in any car, if you take the seat out, there's always a yellow connector. It's there for airbag electronics. In this case, it just accidentally didn't get plugged in. You saw that when we plugged it in, problem solved. Codes went away. The entire airbag system is completely happy now. Now I know there are common issues with the connections on these where you cut that connector out and permanently splice them with permanent hard wires. There is a fix for those, but that's not the issue we're having right now. It just physically wasn't plugged. And plugging it in is happy again. So we'll get some coils ordered, some plugs ordered, and a thermostat ordered. That will take care of those engine issues, the complaints the customer had. And we just solved the airbag issue without spending any money other than the diagnosis. I did pull some of the interior pieces apart because I wanted to verify with those stereo wiring and things that have been added that something else wasn't disconnected as well, but we saw everything is good. I'll put that back together. The connector under the seat solved the problem. Let's take a look around this thing real quick before the video is over. Here's the front of this S4, and several people that have already seen this car, they have big love for this S4. They just love the styling. They love these cars. This one's a little dirty. It got rained on when the customer brought it in. But it's in really pretty good shape. It's got a really nice color. I think that would be periwinkle, Mrs. Wizard.
Oh no, this is more of a cobalt.
Cobalt, okay. It's got the nice 6-spoke wheels. They're in pretty good shape as well. As you come around to the back, you can see it has S4, Audi symbol. So it's really pretty clean, guys. There's no dents or scratches or anything in the paint. The interior is fairly decent. I've seen a lot of clapped out S4s that are really bad. This one is not bad. It's actually very nice. Thought I'd give you guys a quick look before the video was over. So there you have it. That's what's wrong with this car and the solutions to the problems. These are really pretty cool. The engine, it's a 2.7 bi-turbo, like I mentioned. It has 250 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. They are fun to drive. This one has a 6-speed manual, in fact. Very, very fun to drive. So we'll get a quote to the customer to fix everything, see what they want to do or what they don't want to do, and then we'll go from there. Also, check out the link in the description for Betterhelp. Again, thanks to them for sponsoring the video. If you think therapy might be a solution to some of the issues you have in your life, they're definitely there to help you out. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We have many more cool videos to come. Thanks for watching.